Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is part 3 of the Xbox series of videos on creating a family account, setting the settings of that account, and now in this one adding that account to your Xbox. If you missed the first two parts, I'll post the links in the description below. If you find this video in any way useful or you learned something new, a like rating is always appreciated. If you're looking to find more videos like this in the future, you can hit that subscribe button to find your way back to the channel. Okay, so first things first, what we're going to do is from the main screen of the Xbox, we're going to click the Add New button. So from the first two videos, we created an account for one of the children accounts that we're going to log in here with. So what I've done here is I'm logging in with the email address of that account that we created. And following that, we're going to be asked for our password. This is a secure password that you would have noted from creating the account on the accounts.microsoft.com screen. So the next screen we have is a gamer tag. So this is an alias, for lack of a better description, of the account that's going to represent this child account online. This is the account name that people will use to connect between that account. It also appears on the main screen of the Xbox as part of the login. So our next screen is data sharing notification. So this is where the Xbox team are telling us what type of information is gathered, how it's gathered, who that information is shared with. Please make sure you read this screen, and you can click on the Tell Me More option to get more information. But to move forward with creating this account, we click Next. So this screen is our parents' control, privacy and online safety statement. This is where Microsoft will go through and explain what exactly the adult account can do on the Xbox, what the children account can do in the Xbox, how they can interact with other accounts, etc. Strongly recommend that you read this before accepting it. More information can be found on the policy statement button, but once you have this read and agree with it, you click Next. Okay, so on this screen we have three options. We have our no barriers option, which means when the Xbox boots up, the children account can click on the icon or on the gamer tag that represents them, click on it, and it will automatically log them in. The second option is ask for a passkey. This is where you will be asked for a passkey at the time you sign in, and also to buy things within the game. And the third option then is to lock it down. This is where you'll need to authorize signing in, buying things, changing settings in the account, etc. Next screen is just a configuration setting. Choose a color for the theme in the background of the account. Okay, so this again, it's configuration setting. This gives you an idea of what the icon for that account is going to look like online. So here we are logged in as the child account in this case. What we're going to do now is set up the configuration of the login settings. So what we want to do in this case is have it so that the adult account is prompted for a PIN number in order to log in, whereas the child account can actually just be logged in without any issues. So to do that, we're going to hit the Xbox button on the controller, and that will bring up the menu option. From there, we're going to select the add or switch option, and we're going to select the parent account in this instance to log into. As you can see, this is logged in the parent account straight away without any PIN numbers, which is obviously not something we want to have happen. In this case, we want this account to be locked down. So to do that, we're going to again hit the Xbox button on the controller, and in this case, we're going to select My Account. From this menu, we're going to select the Sign In, Security and Passkey option. And from this menu, we're going to select the Change My Sign In and Security Preferences. So as I mentioned earlier, we're going to choose the Ask for My Passkey option. Now, if you haven't set a passkey here, it's going to ask you to set a passkey. In my case, I have already set one, so it's going to prompt me for what that passkey is. Okay, so now that we have the passkey set on the parent account, we're going to go back into the children's account, and we're going to set some security options there. As we did before, we're going to go into the account settings for the child account and go back into the sign in and security passkey setting. Now on first login, we're going to be prompted for the password that we set when we originally logged in, We're going to put this in one time and you won't have to enter that again. So now that we've entered the password, we can now make changes in the way that this account actually logs in. So what we're first going to do is we're going to create a passkey, a PIN essentially for this account, so that when we need to get back in, we can log in and change the settings without having to remember and put in that long complex password. So we go into the sign-in security preferences and we're going to ask for my passkey. So as you can see on the screen, the passkey is a 6-digit PIN number which can be set using the combination on the right using the controller. Now that we've set that PIN number for this account, which we can use if we do need to come in and make some settings changes, we're now going to select the no barrier option for that account. So when the Xbox boots up, you can select that account from the main screen and it will automatically log you in without asking for any passwords or any PIN numbers. Okay, so here we are now back at the main screen. Our account is completely set up. All the permissions and the login details are set and saved. As you can see from the screen, Purple Monkey is our child account and you can see my account to the right of it. If I try and log in with my account, which you'll see in a few minutes, it's going to ask me for my PIN number. However, if we log in with the children's account, with Andrew's account, it's not going to ask for any details. So here we are at Andrew's home screen. We can see immediately up pops his screen time announcement. So if you've been using Xbox in the past, you may have a scenario like this where you've had an account that you've logged in with. You've bought a number of games on that account, which has now become your parent account. And you want to make sure that your children who are playing now on their brand new created children's account can still play the games that you bought on the Xbox. So as you'll see, this is a game, Lego Marvel Superheroes, that I would have purchased on my parent account. So as you can see, do you own this game or app? It's going to ask the user to check the Microsoft Store, troubleshoot the game or cancel. Now obviously this makes sense. This is not the account that purchased the game in the first place. So what we need to do is log into the Xbox with the account that originally purchased the game, this being the parent account. So to do this, as we did earlier on, we're going to hit the Xbox button on the controller. We're going to navigate across using the right shoulder button to the account icon. We're going to select add or switch and we're going to select the parent account. We're going to enter that passkey that we entered and we created on our parent account when we originally set this up. Now that we're logged in as the parent account, we can immediately switch back to the child account by doing the same method, hitting the Windows button, navigating across to your icon, selecting add or switch and revert back to the child account. So now we enter another parental check control. So as you'll remember, when I created Andrew's account, I put in his date of birth that made him 5 years old. In this case, this game is rated at a higher level than 5, so it's going to ask the user, do you want to request permission from a parent to play this game? Or they can select to send a message, and that will send a message in email and also to the Xbox application, which we showed in the previous video, that will ask for permission for that account, for that game to be played on this account. You're going to see the message that popped up on my phone requesting for Andrew to be able to play Lego Marvel Superheroes. Once I activate that message, I can see that the game notification tells me that the game is set for PEGI 7, which means it's aimed at children that are 7 years and older. I can review at this point, I can deny at this point, or once I click review, I look at the details of the game, and if I approve for Andrew to be able to play this, I can click allow. So as you can see on Andrew's account, as soon as I had clicked approve on that message, he got a pop-up message that would say, now you can play Marvel Superheroes, and he can hit the Xbox button on his controller to start the game. And here we are, Andrew's now playing the game with approval based on age and also approval to play a game that was actually purchased on a different account. What I'm going to show you now is some of the other restrictions that we've put onto this account. If we search, for example, for a game called Red Dead Redemption 2, in the store, you're going to see that this game is actually rated for 18 plus. It's going to ask for permission to allow that game to be played. So if we select, for example, in the store, the game Rocket League, which is rated appropriate for Andrew's age bracket. As you can see, there's no limitation listed on this. This is free to play, and it is age appropriate. So Andrew will be able to select this game, download it, and play it. As you can see, once Andrew selected to get this game, a purchase notification was sent to my email for the parent account, telling me that a purchase notification was made for Andrew. Even though the game is free, it still lets me know what the price was and also what the rating was. So in this case, it's a PEGI 3. Now for games like this is a game that Andrew has purchased on his own child account. He will not need my account to log in for him to be able to play this game. That is because it's not tied to my parent account, it's tied directly to his account. Now, while some parents will want the ability to control what games are actually played by having to log in each time a game that's on their account wants to be activated, there is a much easier way that you can share all the games and all the subscriptions like Xbox Live and Game Pass across all the users that are logged into that Xbox. To do that, you need to set the Xbox as the home Xbox. In that case, all of the applications that are installed on the parent account that are age appropriate will be available to the children's account at any time without the parent having to authorize them being turned on. Now to do that, we're going to go into the general settings and we're going to go into personalization. Once we're in personalization, we're going to select My Home Xbox. In this case, we're going to check the box, make this My Home Xbox. And as you can see from the settings, as it says, other people in your household will be able to get and play your games and enjoy the benefits of your Xbox Live and Xbox Game Pass subscription. This is very important if you are buying an Xbox Live subscription, or more importantly the Xbox Game Pass, that would be tied to your account and only you would be able to use it. By doing this, all of the accounts that are now set up will be able to play games online and will be able to download any of the games that are available in the Xbox Game Pass. That's it for the series of videos on the Xbox and setting up a family account. The next couple of videos will be based on setting up something very similar on the PlayStation. Please feel free to put any questions you have in the comments below and I will do my very best to get back to you. All that's left for me to say is Slán go fóill, and I will catch you on the next one.